Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. I've got something cool to show you today that I love to do. It's tricky when I try and teach these lessons because I try to make them as simple and digestible as possible, but also so many of the interesting things about guitar can be quite subtle or a little bit confusing to begin with. So I try and find that fine line, and I'm doing my best, so I hope it's working for you, but this lesson should be useful for most players. We're going to do some legato, some pull-offs, some kind of double pull-offs. So let me show you just quickly what that sounds like. That was a bad start. And we're going to put some chords in there, so we'll be like... That's the kind of thing we're going to go for today. Let's just slow it down. So that first double pull-off I did went from the third fret of the top string to the first fret and then the open string. So it's 3, 1, 0. But the interesting thing is you only pick once, you only pick the third fret note. No more right hand. Pull off to the first, pull off to the open. So it's just one strike and then two pull-offs to create 3 notes, 1 note. 3 notes, 1 strum or 1 strike. Interesting point, if you look here at my finger, now I'm fretting the third fret note there, as you can see. Interesting to note that throughout years of training, not only am I fretting the third fret note, but I've also got my second finger fretting the second finger note. Even though that's not in this piece of music, we're not going to play that today, but I just wanted to show you because I do think it's relevant, because it's also relevant that my first finger is already on the first fret. So even though I'm playing the third fret note, I'm ready to play the first fret note. So when I pull off, it's immediate. You might sometimes be like, play the third, and then some players will then try and get the first into position, which is definitely possible. Getting it into position after you've played the note, but I just wanted to point out to you that kind of subtlety in my personal technique. I'm not saying it's the best way to do it, I'm just saying it's how I do it. That when I'm doing my pull-offs, the note that I'm pulling off to is also already prepared. So that's interesting. Cool. And then we're going to do the same thing on the next string, on the B string. Can be slightly trickier on the B string because you have to be careful not to make... One of the things a lot of you will do as you begin to try this will be something like accidentally striking the top E string or other strings. That's common, and the way that we fix that, just like we fixed every single other inconsistency in our playing, is just slow, repeated practice. But when you get those two sounding cool together, it's pretty cool. And I was just combining it with a nice E major chord and a nice A minor chord. When you're more comfortable with that, we can start to repeat those pull-offs or those legato trills. We can start to repeat them, so you might go exactly the same thing. I'm just playing it over and over, and obviously a bit quicker. So that's good fun. Alternating. And as I've said a million times before on this channel, if you've watched a few of my videos, the way that we get quicker is through slow, repeated practice. I know it sometimes seems a bit annoying when someone teaches you something on you, like really, really, really slow, and then they go, look, this is how you do it, and it's like, that's not really fair. I've just skipped out, as these other teachers that kind of seem to rush ahead, I've just skipped out the many, many hours of repeated practice that goes into going from practice that many, many times slowly and precisely, speeding it up gradually as you get precise. And yeah, I'm not lying when I say that that's the way to the precision. Another thing I like to do a lot is I'll do 3, 1, 0, then I'll do 4, 1, 0. I reckon that's a pretty good sound. And sometimes I'll alternate. So that's a good little exercise in itself. 3, 1, 0, 4, 1, 0, And if you don't understand this next thing I say, you can live very happily without it for the rest of your life. But if you do understand roughly what I'm doing, when it's the 3-1-0, it's a kind of E Phrygian kind of sound, the E, F, G. And when it's the 4th fret note, the G sharp, it's kind of like an E Phrygian dominant, or the 5th mode of the A harmonic minor scale. Please don't freak out if you don't know what that means. That's just for those who do know what the modes are and stuff like that. And if you don't know what I just said, Phrygian might be a good word for you to type into YouTube. The Phrygian scale or Phrygian mode is a very, very cool sound. And the Phrygian dominant is a very, very cool sound. So if that piqued your interest and you want to get like into your scales and stuff, you might look at Phrygian or Phrygian dominant. And we'll leave it at that for today. You got some cool chords. As with all my lessons, you can put your own melody notes in, you can put your own chords in. This is really just a little structure for you to play with, improvise, chop and change, and mix it up. I thank you for watching. Leave a comment and let's keep playing lots and lots of guitar. Thank you very much.